forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer. With boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
In search of oil me, but I only finding
sure you keep that oil pumping each and every day. Right now, we're just beginning to drill down low, see if we can get it flowing. Everybody, good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning to you. How are you people doing? Good to have you here. And if you're wondering where here is, it's the Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. Of course, yes, we are taking you above and beyond. Trinidad and Tobago, good morning. Neighbors in the Caribbean, good day to you. Friends and family, all our diaspora people, good to have you and thank you so much for showing up. What a beautiful God blessed day it is. Giving God thanks and praises for life. If there is anything that you need to be thankful for, is that you have the breath of life this morning. You are in the land of the living. So let me say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. And everything that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing on to you. Sir Charles, that is me. Happy am I to be in this space with you. As we welcome everybody to your Get Up and Go. This is your breakfast show.
Get up, get up. It's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Show energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Good morning to you, and of course, welcome. Good to have you here on the breakfast show for a Tuesday morning. Good looking Tuesday morning it is. Nice weather conditions on the outside, I can tell you that. I hope you took some time out to open your windows, take a little fresh breeze and just invite the day into your space as we are doing right about now. So thank you very much for being here. And of course, I'll be saying good morning to my co-host, to Richard, who will join us in a little bit. And of course, Wendell, who is here very early as always. So Wendell, morning to you.
Morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning thus far. Yesterday was quite a nice day too in terms of the weather. We hope it remains that way. We're happy to be in the land of the living. Of course, condolences to those who would have lost loved ones, and happy birthday to all those celebrating birthday today, including my brother-in-law. Kenneth Roger Vivek, he is celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday, Roger. And hope you live to see many, many more. You know? Of course, today we have a guest. We have the First Peoples. You know, we were trying to get him for a little while. He wasn't. He was
evasive. He was a little evasive, I suppose.
Yeah, no, he wasn't, he just didn't see his messages. He said, when did I only now check my message since last month and realized you had sent an invitation. And that's when the topic was hot. But he actually, he agreed still to do the show, and we're going to have him as our guest today, Chief Ricardo Bharath Hernandez. Morning, Kurt Edwards, who was instrumental in me getting onto Ricardo. He is from the First Peoples, and of course, we'll talk about all the plans for the First Peoples, including the committee Mr. Hernandez would have sat on that talked about the renaming of certain issues. Well, we will ask him about it, because one is that the Piaco Airport is, of course, I think it's our own Amerindian name. We'll ask him his thoughts on that. We'll ask him his thoughts on the renaming of Nelson Island. And we'll also ask him about the public holiday that the First Peoples have been asking for also. You know what I mean? So we'll have a good chat with Chief Hernandez this morning. And and see where we go from there. Of course, Sir Charles, just as some people predicted, and well, Gary certainly said the police will arrest him. The father of Joshua Samaru has now been arrested because of his comments.
Yes,
because of the comments he made on radio. He actually went into the police station with his attorney, and the police home by him looking for him. At least that's what I read. I don't know how true that is, people. You know what I mean? But imagine a man in grief, clearly in grief, expressing a thought. He didn't actually threaten, you know. He didn't say, I'm going to do this, you know. This country gone. The TTP has gone, the whole place.
There's no tolerance.
I mean, and the fellas, the guys, the police officers who actually will videotape shooting Joshua Samaru, where are they? Probably still in counseling, eh? But the people who hurt him the most, Kaya Silly, arrested and charged. Alyssa Phillip, supporting her friend, arrested and charged. Mr. Samaru, grieving for his son, arrested and charged. Just only picture that. Just mull on that for a while and tell me if this place ain't hopeless. Tell me that.
Yeah, it's a lot to that's all that's happening all at the same time, you know, where this is concerned. And there's a lot of the public's discontent where all of this is happening. What has been happening, the authorities are not taking that into consideration at all. I don't know who's going to pick it up for them. Because even you look at the charges that have come out, and you would have expected at some point in time that somebody within the police service may have been charged with something going on there, because the public saw what took place, and what we are seeing playing out is not what like what we saw, you know.
So you want to tell me
is very angry at that whole situation, and there seems to be no justice for the public watching in at all of this.
None.
And the only way that justice is going to come, if it's going to come, it's going to be about 10-15 years down the road. You know, by that time, guess what? Those who have and may have done wrong would have already retired, collect their pension, and gone their way.
Mm-hmm. So you want to tell me, right? They have no senior officer, because I saw a deputy commissioner, Suzette Martin, on site the day we delivered the thing. You want to tell me none of them can just watch this situation and say, you know something, these people are hurting. Alyssa is hurting because of her friend, right? Let me just talk to her, calm her down. You know, she little antsy now. Let me just calm her down and tell her, listen, don't do this now, you know, stay away from it, you know. You want to tell me nobody can do that? You want to tell me nobody can tell me?
Yeah, I don't know what was the state of the PCA's investigation into this whole thing. Mr. West needs to probably also tell us, you know, why is it taking so long to hear the PCA's side of this whole situation, if they would be able to approach the DPP with what they may have found, or if it will corroborate what the police is saying. But Mr. West and his team is taking forever. Forever with this whole situation. So I don't know how this situation is going to work itself out. I seem to have lost Wendell temporarily here. I don't know if his internet fell out, but hopefully he will join us back at some point in between here. Yeah, but it is a very difficult situation that we are dealing with. A lot of emotions are outside there running, and people are not sure how to really treat with this situation as it is. So it's creating like this whole ball of confusion in people's minds. But you're getting it's just more questions upon questions. You're not getting the answers for that people may be looking for. All right, but as I said, I lost Wendell a little bit in between here. So let me see. All right, let me just give you a little update as to what happened in the football world, or what is happening in the football world, because yesterday was a very interesting day. I must say it was a very interesting day. Let me see if I can find my result, because Argentina won their game yesterday, and Lionel Messi is now the top scorer in as far as World Cup is concerned. He has now scored 17 goals in his career, and that would have put him at the top of his game with those 17 goals that he's now the top uh, scorer for men's football with that with the two goals that he scored yesterday. So he is in a very untouchable position right about now going forward. You're back. We lost you a little bit.
Yeah, my apologies. My device lost power,
Hmm.
and I had to start all over again. And everything just started to go so slow after that. I said, but what is this?
Oh, yeah.
The universe tried to silence me.
Yeah. Well, not any universe. You try to cycle yourself by not
Well,
charging the device.
clearly, I didn't charge up my device enough, and I forgot to plug it in when this morning. So that
Yeah.
it was entirely my fault. But it just so happened at that time, because my device on all the time, and I didn't have a problem. Because
Yeah.
I log on, I kind of come on from very early in the morning. Once I kind of put everything in place so that I just have to click enter studio when the time comes.
Right. Yeah.
And I clean forget to plug it in.
Plug
Anyway,
it. Yeah. So that's it. So I'm just gonna tell people about the what had transpired in the World Cup yesterday. So Argentina has, I think they are now leading that group. They beat Austria uh, 2-0, and the both goals were scored by Lionel Messi, who is right now dominating that category of having the most World Cup goals. Right, and he's not done with the World Cup as yet, because so I suppose a couple more games, couple more goals, then is anybody's to try and catch him going forward.
yeah. And he and Mbappe certainly stamping his mark too. He scored two last night also in
Yeah,
France's victory. A very unusual match. The match had a 2.5 hour delay due to bad weather.
yeah.
They had to stop the match just around halftime and resume 2.5 hours later, I think, because of
Wow.
a thunderstorm that passed through Philadelphia.
Eh,
I don't know that has ever happened. I stand corrected, but I've never
little,
heard.
little 10, 15 minutes delay, but
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard a match being delayed for that long a time, a football match.
no, not in
It
football.
happens
But
in
I know,
cricket.
yeah, I know about tell you cricket had that.
Yeah, but I've never known it to happen in football. You know.
Yeah. Uh, but they won yesterday, 3-1 against Iraq.
Yes, France won 3-1. Senegal lost. I was so disappointed in how Senegal was playing. I just that match made me switch off at halftime and go to bed.
Okay, so yeah. Norway
Senegal
beat them
lost
3-2.
to Austria. Is not Austria, sorry,
Norway.
Norway.
Yeah.
Norway. 3-2.
Yeah.
You know.
Then we had Algeria going up against Jordan, and
What happened with that game?
Algeria won 2-1.
Okay. All right. All right. So
So
those are the
that's
games.
yeah, those were the games. In today's game, let me get right. We have England going up against Ghana at 12 p.m. And we have Panama going up
12
against...
noon, yeah? Say 12 noon for
Yeah,
people.
12 noon. 12 noon. Yeah, 12 noon. And then at 3 p.m., Panama is playing Croatia. I like Croatia, for some reason. Then we have Portugal going up against Uzbekistan. That's at 6 p.m. And Colombia is going up against the
DR Congo.
Oh, yeah. I waiting to see how this game plays out, because Colombia is doing pretty well.
I back in Congo for that game, obviously. Yes. So I'm back in Congo and I'm back in Ghana today. I'm back in Portugal and I'm back in Panama. Those are my four picks today.
Okay. Well, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it plays off. Good morning, Richard.
Hi, good morning, guys. And good morning to our listeners and viewers, wherever you are, on this Tuesday morning.
Yeah. Richard, we were talking earlier about the arrest now of Joshua Samaru's dad. Because of the comments he made in
That's it.
I don't even know what the charge is. Huh?
I said that's it. Not unexpected, because the nature of what it was reported that he said. I know on news last night he said that the context of what he said was truncated because they cut him off and they didn't hear the rest of what he was saying. And of course it went viral. But that's the risk you run when you interview people who are very emotional about a particular situation. And I know he tried to be preventative about it in terms of approaching the police yesterday, but they eventually did detain him. I am not so sure if they have charged him or they've just detained him.
Yeah, the report is that he's been charged. I don't know with what. That's why I asked with what.
Well, a lot of times they would go for things like sedition. Sedition is that broad head where they charge people for things that they think is against public order. So historically, it's one of those archaic laws on the books, not to justify anything that he said. Because
but he said that's how he feel, and he didn't say that's what he was going to do. He didn't make, and that is my opinion, he didn't make a direct threat. He said that's how I'm feeling.
It sounds pretty threatening, but I mean, within context of the person who's saying it and why they're saying it, you could give that kind of leeway. But he would know that you can't say things like that, obviously.
Yeah.
But sedition is often it often, a lot of times, what people say comes under sedition, even though it's as I say, it's an archaic law that maybe needs to be reviewed or booted out. But talking about the labor movement yesterday and labor with Professor Bharath, that whole issue of sedition was one of the charges that they would have brought up historically in the labor movement. Yeah? And so like people like Elmer Francois and stuff like that, I think they would have been charged with sedition at the time by the colonial authorities in their fight for workers' rights. So it's a tool of control in terms of speech. And so, as the Prime Minister would have said, that not all rights are absolute. In whatever context she said it. And yes, in a sense, not all rights are absolute. And in some countries, freedom of speech leans more towards being an absolute right than in other countries. So in other countries, it's more curtailed, that whole issue of freedom of speech. And in other countries, it leans as close as possible to being absolute. But of course, you have things like defamation and things like that, and other crimes that they would bring into the issue of speech and the power of speech to hurt whether it be hateful speech. Sometimes people will bring it under blasphemy, things like that, depending on the country you go to and what it is. So I'm suspecting it's going to be along that line if they have charged him. From what I saw last night, it wasn't clear to me they had charged him. But if they have, it will probably be along those lines.
The last person who was charged for that, wasn't it Abu Bakr?
No.
No, Christmas list.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Christmas list. Yes.
We don't know what was happening because I know the last time he was supposed to come back sometime in January, February, but we don't know.
Whatever became of that court matter.
We don't know.
Abu Bakr's one was dismissed, not so?
I can't remember the details.
Then he made the threats about zakat.
I cannot remember what the resolution of his case was.
Oh, jeez.
But it's been used, but that's the law that would be used. So is there a case for reviewing that particular law? Absolutely. And it has been called for previously for review by different maybe not agencies, but certain people have lobbied that you need to review that law. But like all other laws that are archaic and colonial and were tools of colonial oppression, in many ways, they have continued to exist because no government post-1962 has had the cojones to adjust them. None.
Well, imagine you just had to go through social media sometimes, especially after these newspaper articles, and see the kind of comments people make, and they get away with it. They get away with it because in large measure they are anonymous. They're probably using a fake name or whatever, and they make the most horrible comments about people.
Yeah, but in his particular case, not wanting, it may be sub judice if he's been charged. Of course, it was broadcast. Mm-hmm. So that takes it on a certain level.
Right.
So
you just said he didn't get a chance to finish say what he was saying.
I said that's what he said, not me.
Yeah.
I said that's what he said.
Yeah.
In an interview last night on the news, that he was cut off in terms of the completion of his whatever his sentence was.
Now you tell me if that man deserves this in light of all what he has been through. You tell me if he deserves that. Huh?
That's something for the court to decide. But
no, Richard, a senior person in the police. The police commissioner could decide that about all he is grieving. Let's leave that there.
But
the same way with Alyssa Phillip, making noise the day was a little exuberant the day in Labor Day. They could have just said, calm down now,
Well, discretion.
Is it sedition to say we might be living in a police state? We might be heading towards that, or we possibly are? Is that sedition?
If you spoke to some attorneys from years ago, some attorneys from years ago I've spoken to have always suggested that we live in a state largely like that.
Okay.
But
I just want to be sure.
I know some attorneys say that. I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying so pre-SOEs, but when you are in a state of emergency, you are more policed, obviously, because your fundamental rights are now abridged because of a state that has been called under certain constitutional parameters. So yes, the police has more power. Yes, certain freedoms would have been curtailed. And is there a responsibility for you to watch what you say? Absolutely. Because you're within the framework of that, unless you want to run afoul of the law. Did he say something on the face of it that crossed that line? I think most people will agree that he probably did, but they will contextualize it in terms of it being an emotional response as a father. But he recognized that he would have crossed the line in terms of what he would have said, but he tried to, be preventative. I said by going to the police and saying, "Well, look, it was in a context that was not clear in terms of however it was broadcast." No, I didn't hear it. I just saw reported speech of it. in terms of social media. I didn't actually hear the broadcast. I didn't actually hear it. I don't know if you did, Wendell.
No, I didn't.
I've just seen what was written about it. But obviously, he felt that he needed to explain because it was severe enough that obviously it would have gotten to the attention of the security officials, obviously. Because it was broadcast. It's not that you're in with family members talking and it's not being recorded, or it was broadcast. You were in an interview. So,
yeah, it's a lot.
But was he given the chance to retract it? To say, hey, because we do it here. We say, hey, whilst just retract that. We're not agreeing with that. We do it all the time here.
I don't know. It was on a broadcast. I don't know.
Well, exactly.
I don't know what they
There are
did.
several things to consider in that case. The host, whoever was said, said, no, you can't say that. You need to retract that. You understand?
Yeah. But
anyhow, guys, we need to get to our good news, and we will be back.
You also, can you please sign my jersey? Please, Rosa.
There's one image of Shaq missing in that whole video, and
I think a lot of that video is just about kindness when you choose to be kind and generous.
And he is very kind and generous.
Yeah, and so for a lot of the world, the world has become, well, your vision of the world can sometimes be, killed by the amount of selfishness and cruelty that you see across the planet. But they're still kind and generous human beings.
Yeah.
And there's still people who try to do things in a different place.
Yeah. Before we go to the top of the chat, Rena Jennings says she heard the interview. She said it was an interview on our independence. He wasn't given a chance. They cut him off. Caribbean Girl is also saying they played a disclaimer and went to a break. And UT Culture said they stopped him and it has been removed by the station from Facebook. Now, really and truly, they should have given him a chance to retract it on air. You understand? In my opinion, that's what should have been done. Say, listen, you can't say that here. You need to retract it. So that would have covered everybody, including himself. Not just the station, but you could have protected the gentleman by giving him a chance to also retract it on air. But anyway, we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, Mr. Samru will not have to go, because this kind of stress not good for some people. That extra stress he is going to be under now, not going to be good for him.
No, it's not. All right, people, we are really running late today on a lot of things, so we're going for that break, and when we come back, we'll see what's
You're not greeting people? Okay, no problem.
Yeah, we have to probably forgo it at this point in time.
All right.
For today, all right, people, please forgive us.
You're not kind this morning.
All aboard!
Calling all you NETT Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us for NETT Radio Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August. Boarding at 7 p.m. from Hard Cuts Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite NETT DJs: Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early bird tickets are just $200, after $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Kure, Fats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall and Eastgate Mall, and all NETT DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. NETT Radio, Halloween Cooler Crew, Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween on the sea. S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Scandal in Citrus is back in Port of Spain, and yep, we're finally at Queen's Hall for 2 nights only on Saturday the 27th of June at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 28th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available at the usual outlets and online. You can now buy tickets on our website, rsrrproductions.com. We think you'll like it. And at the Queen's Hall box office, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Scandal in Citrus. We're at Queen's Hall. Scandal in Citrus.
What do we all want for Trinidad and Tobago? Safer communities, greater opportunities, and a better future. Join Denise Deming every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on NETT Radio for Common Ground TNT. Each week, respected guests tackle the issues affecting our nation, from crime and education to healthcare, the economy, and good governance. Common Ground TNT, finding solutions through conversation. Tuesdays at 11 a.m. on NETT Radio, Net Radio.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready! Helan of the Ultimate DJ Shane invite you to the Ride of the Year, Reggae Ride 26.
I met a girl this morning. She was love at first sight.
On Saturday, June 27th, on board the Harbour Master, represent your colors with a touch of gold, green, red, and white, featuring DJ Damien, Ever Slick, DJ Junior, Gaylan, and the Ultimate DJ Shane. Boarding 11 p.m. and sailing at 12 midnight sharp. Tickets are only $250 and are available at all Agard's Nuts House locations, City Furniture stores nationwide, and online at islandetickets.com. Call or WhatsApp 333-7601 for more information and tickets. Walk with your coolers. No oversized coolers and no glass bottles allowed. The Reggae Ride 26 is proudly sponsored by Agard's Nuts House, City Furniture, Tocopia Hotel and Lounge, Cricket Lab Academy, Cafe Barista, Endura Malt, NFM, Rio's Waxing Parlor, and Langston Roach Industries. One boat, one vibe, one love. The Reggae Ride 26.
All right, I guess we could go straight into the news. Richard, I had a lizard moment last night. Is he there?
He's there in the background.
All right, I had a moment with a lizard last night. I was on my phone talking and upstairs, and I brushed the cushion. I moved the cushion on the chair, and a lizard jumped out at me. And my phone went crash into the ground. Shattered, but still, well, some parts of it not working. So if people do hear from me from my phone, that's because my phone fell out to over 20 feet to the ground and shattered, but it's still partly working. All right. Anyway, today's Express, you heard me, Richard? My lizard moment.
That your phone crashed?
My phone fell to the ground from over 20 feet and shattered.
But isn't your phone supposed to be able to survive that?
Well, it kind of is, you know. It kind of did, you know. But I still have to carry. I can't get the finger, some of the features not working.
Oh, okay.
Some of the features on it not working. Anyway, men with cutlasses cart off with grocery safe with $40,000. That's one of the stories Express Online. Man acquitted of 2020 double murder, shot dead weeks after release. Big bail dollars for Alyssa and mom. PM attends funeral of brother-in-law in New York. Shamfa Tabari, stop it. I don't know what, stop what. And of course, the main story is that Joshua's father was arrested last night after he earlier voluntarily visited police stations to clarify comments attributed to him on social media, which his attorney said were twisted out of context. All right, so those are the main stories in the Express Online today.
All right, so I'll go straight to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for this morning. Once it loads. Right, so the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. Samaru's father arrested. Cops also raided his Marval home hours after controversial remarks made about TTPS during Father's Day broadcast. That's the main story. Alicia Phillip and mother to reappear in court on July 20th. Alexander defends police amid fallout over activists' arrest. THA seeks record $4.12 billion from central government. And THA requests $1.35 million to retain CPEP and URP-style program. And business news, when growth does not reach the dinner table. So that's one of the articles in business. And TTMA, improve Forex access to double non-energy exports. TNT needs a new growth strategy, warns Vanus. And departing ambassador, Germany seeks new chapter in relations with Trinidad and Tobago and U.S. company Kohler partners with TNT CW Interiors. The Gatsby Dolly says PNM individuals waging war on penny. Is that true, Wendell?
What is that?
Gatsby Dolly says PNM individuals, in other words, PNM people, waging war on penny.
That's not unusual for a political leader to have people who don't agree with them. That's not unusual. Why is that news? Why is that news?
Well, it's news. Because usually PNM very good at hiding the bacchanal. But apparently they lose that skill. Police probe weekend crime spree in South Trinidad, and Gary Abood to face trial over 2021 COVID-19 protest charges. Sport is crying out for financial transparency and accountability. That's, I don't know if this is, I think it's Brian Lewis. That's an op-ed by Brian Lewis. Messi's historic moment sparked celebration in Tagariba, and emphasis placed on batting at training camp. So says Sammy. So that's some of the news in different categories in the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian this morning. So now you know.
All right, a special good morning to everybody on the chat this morning. And I have a couple of everybody guys.
Yeah. I know how it can be. Did you know people? It's straight ahead.
If a man has no friends, pay close attention. If a man has no friends, or a really small circle, don't get it twisted in your head. That's not a red flag. Everyone wants to tell you that, but they're wrong about this one. That's a man who has mastered himself. A man without friends, or with a very small, tight circle, is actually a deeply secure man. That's the truth most people miss. He's learned over time that quality matters infinitely more than quantity. He doesn't need an audience around him to validate that he's worth something. His confidence comes from inside him, not from the approval of whoever happens to be near him that day. He's not afraid to be alone because he already knows his own strength. He's tested it. He's proven it to himself. He's been by himself enough times to know he can handle it without falling apart. He's extremely selective about his energy and who gets access to his life. That's a good quality to have, not a concerning one. He's not out here collecting people like trophies just to say he has a big friend group. He's curating. There's a massive difference. He walks away from drama and gossip because he's built a peaceful life for himself, brick by brick, and he's not willing to let anyone come in and wreck it. You spend years building peace, and you learn real quick who's worth losing it over. Usually nobody is. He doesn't need to be surrounded by people to feel complete. That's the key difference. He's comfortable in his own company. He's grounded. He's steady. He doesn't waste time on meaningless relationships that drain more than they give, just to avoid sitting with himself. He knows what he wants. He knows what he doesn't. And he doesn't waste time pretending otherwise for anyone. So if you come across a man with very few friends or a very small circle, don't underestimate him for a second. That's not loneliness you're looking at. That's discipline.
I was expecting to see an image of myself at the end of that. Where did you know come from? So Charles, you have announced something you want to talk about?
I look like I produce it.
I see you send me a name. I see you send me a name for of someone who's willing to do some counseling. Maybe you should take up that offer. And thanks for the person, because I think it's someone on this chat actually.
Mm-hmm.
If the name is definitely the name of someone on this chat. So thanks for the offer. If you're listening, and if it's you, thanks for the offer. I got the message from Sir Chat. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sir Chat?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Thanks for the offer. All right. Well, let's take some calls. We are interviewing Chief Ricardo Bharath Hernandez, the Chief of the Santa Rosa First Peoples, in the next hour, and so we're gonna poll. We're gonna do a poll based on that, on that interview. But so much other things to talk about, and a lot of people chatting about this thing. Cheryl Maraj is saying Gary Aboud case is quite in September. Not sure why it's being sensationalized right now. Well, welcome to TNT, sweet TNT that we love so much. Just in the news for all the wrong reasons now.
All right, people, we are taking your calls, 281-1315 or 299-5156. So we head to the lines. Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning, gentlemen. Norfolk, Virginia, Franklin
Norfolk,
Center.
Virginia. Good
two
morning.
quick points I want to bring up here. Number one, Sir Charles, the greatest of all time when it comes to soccer. Oh, in America too long. Sorry, football. While World Cup stats you're given, Cristiano Ronaldo will always be the GOAT, greatest of all time, because career-wise and with more clubs has scored the most goals. And just a little insight thing I want to give you there. Okay, although he's a shell of himself.
Hold on. He has scored the most goals where?
No, within a number of leagues and a number of clubs.
But we weren't talking
career-wise. Career-wise. Not World Cup. We're not talking World Cup.
We were talking World Cup. I don't know why you want talking career.
Oh, you're talking World Cup. All right. Sorry. I see a lot of people have been,
stop trying to take the man.
On both. So yes, Messi is it.
Right. Go ahead.
World Cup, that is right.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, and last but not least, yes, that track you just played there, that video. Yeah. As a matter of fact, she's describing me. You three of you are my only friends, and her. So just to let you know.
Yeah, you're confident.
Right, that says a lot there. But again, closing off, Ronaldo, he might be a GOAT literally as far as age-wise in football, right? If he doesn't come out today. But I think he's a shell of himself. He doesn't look the same and playing the same.
All right.
Everybody had a shelf life, right? So anyway, guys, have a good day.
Yeah. Thanks much, Virginia. Caller, good morning to you. Sorry, but I went up.
Good morning.
Mr. Grant.
My three mosquitoes. After my girl, I was calling day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first thing, whenever I tried for your phone, 20 feet that's why you were in upstairs or what?
Yes, I was upstairs.
Yeah. Anyhow. Yeah.
I didn't cuss like Richard, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, well, the wife kind of recovering good.
Excellent.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
You know what I mean? I'm a daughter here with her, so again, I'll help one thing. Because right now, I kind of, according to Wendell, this country is hopeless. You see, people talking now. We let him go on so far, right? We let him go so far. And he come like a horse going down the road, trying to pull it back now. But last night, I lie down there and study. You know, I studied this Israel with Trump and things. Right? Although you're younger than me. When we had registration, I used to be listening to registration on a program called the Suez Canal. You understand? With someone a long time, Egypt and Israel fighting down in that Suez Canal. Now we're talking about the homes. Anyhow, the best and take care.
Yeah.
Wendell, I like you as a supporting Ghana too.
All right,
Mr.
Mr. God.
Yeah.
Yeah, take
Very
care.
much. Captain Ron, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen, gentle people. How are you guys doing today?
All right.
You know, first of all, Wendell, don't worry. You remind me of myself sometimes. I tell you, a little fly cost me over $1,000 the other day. It landed on my TV, and I had a swat. I hit the TV and mashed up the whole TV. And the sad thing is, the fly got away. The fly got away, you know. So I have to buy a new TV. So don't be, listen, you know.
Did you curse? Did you curse? Did you curse when that happened?
Of course, I'm always cursing. I just get an opportunity to curse. You know, I was taught a long time ago, cursing is the way of relieving stress, as long as you can do it by yourself. You don't have to do it to abuse people. But anyway, Wendell, you're on the nail there. You hit the nail on the head all the time when you talk about the police of Trinidad and Tobago. Mm-hmm. And yesterday, this is why I love the interview what you did with Gary Griffin. That man has proven himself over and over to be the right person to run the police department in Trinidad and Tobago. Some points that man made is something that other people would do up here. And a friend called me who's a police officer in Orlando and told me he was listening, and he said, what, is Gary Griffin the only person in Trinidad can see it that way, the way things are done properly? The police are escalating the situations in Trinidad. And I thought Officer Susie, or whatever her name, Suzette or something, the inspector, I thought she would have known better. I thought she would have known better. She could have calmed that situation down too. But, you know, and then I wonder if anybody who is in the police department in Trinidad and Tobago would have listened to what Mr. Griffith was saying yesterday and put it into practice to try and calm the situation down. But anyway, that was a very nice interview yesterday. Yeah. You guys have a great day and stay safe.
Thanks, Captain Ron. I was actually on the phone with a police officer when my phone fell out my hand. And I ran downstairs out the door, and she was still not talking. I said my phone fell out. I said, I will have to, and I gave her a next number to call me back because I couldn't see anything on the phone again. I don't know, I wasn't hearing anything, really. You know, but I hope, I mean, at the end of the day, all right, our poll is up, people. Should the first peoples, or you did not just sit to Charles, should the first peoples,
I didn't know how to adjust it, so I just left it.
Be given a yearly holiday along with keeping the name Piaco for our airport? That's our poll today. If you're voting yes, you're voting 1. If you're voting no, you're voting 2. All right? We're asking you, should they be given a public holiday, and should Piaco Airport be kept with the same name? I thought you might have separated it, but that's all right. All right? So you can vote now all the way through our news, and then when we come back, we will have Chief Ricardo Bharath Hernandez as our guest. All right?
Okay. Right. Stay with us here on The Breakfast Show, people. News is next.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on Net Radio and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Activist Alyssa Phillip and her mother, Camille Carrasquero, have been granted $60,000 bail after appearing in court on charges stemming from last Friday's Labor Day march. Philip is accused of leading a march, failing to disperse participants, disorderly behavior, and resisting arrest. Carrasquero faces charges including failing to disperse, obstructing a police officer, and resisting arrest. The pair appeared virtually before the court and were allowed to keep the bail granted at the police station. No conditions were attached. The matters were transferred to the Superior Magistrates Court and are scheduled to resume on July 20th. Philip and Carrasquero are also before the courts on separate charges linked to an earlier protest over the prosecution of Kaya Seeley. Activist Alyssa Phillip says the 19 Bullets, 19 Protests campaign has come to an end following Friday's Labor Day march and her arrest in Faizabad. In a statement posted to social media, Phillip thanked supporters, saying she never saw herself as an activist, but simply someone willing to speak out on issues affecting the country. She said the June 19 march was a call for citizens, especially young people, to find their voice and stand up for what they believe in, adding that real change comes when ordinary people refuse to stay silent. Phillip said the campaign may be over, but the fight for accountability, justice, and a better Trinidad and Tobago continues. Phillip and her mother, Camille Carrasquero, remain before the courts on charges arising from Friday's protest and an earlier demonstration in Port of Spain. The Tobago House of Assembly is seeking a budget allocation of $4.12 billion for fiscal 2027. Presenting the THA budget today, Finance Secretary Petal-Ann Roberts said the funding would support long-term economic resilience and results-based governance. The proposal includes $3.03 billion for recurrent expenditure and $1.09 billion for development projects, with the largest allocation of just over $1 billion going to health. Roberts said Tobago is expected to generate $220.5 million in revenue next year, but argued that significant revenue earned on the island is still being collected in Trinidad. She also announced plans to pursue international funding and public-private partnerships to support housing, infrastructure, and climate resilience projects. Police are investigating 2 murders and a robbery over the weekend. In Maracas Valley, 36-year-old Warren Small was shot dead near his home just weeks after being acquitted of a 2020 double murder. Meanwhile, in Pleasantville, San Fernando City Corporation employee Marlon Williams was chased and killed by gunmen. His mother, who has now lost 3 children to gun violence, says the country's crime situation is terrible. Meanwhile, 4 masked men robbed a supermarket in Barrackpore, assaulting a security guard before escaping with a safe containing about $40,000, 2 cash registers, and cartons of cigarettes. The weekend violence has pushed the country's murder toll to 183. In sport, Lionel Messi has become the all-time leading scorer in FIFA World Cup history after netting his 17th and 18th tournament goals in Argentina's 2-0 victory over Austria. Messi broke the previous record in the 38th minute before adding another in stoppage time, helping the defending champions secure a place in the knockout round with a second straight win. The 38-year-old has now scored in 6 consecutive World Cup matches and has accounted for all 5 of Argentina's goals in the tournament so far. Messi reached the milestone despite missing an early penalty, and while his father continues to undergo medical treatment for an undisclosed illness. Finally, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced his resignation just 2 years after leading the Labour Party to a landslide election victory. Starmer says he will remain as caretaker Prime Minister until a new party leader is chosen. Former Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham is the frontrunner after confirming he will seek the leadership, with backing from former Health Secretary Wes Streeting. Starmer's popularity has fallen amid concerns over the economy, the cost of living, and a series of political missteps. He says he accepts his party's decision with good grace and expects a new Labour leader to be in place before Parliament returns in September. And that is Net Radio News at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with new Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Get ready The road to football's biggest stage starts right here on Net Radio and Guile TV. Join us for Inside the Net, the road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights. Every weekday, take a journey through World Cup history, legendary players, unforgettable goals, football's greatest nations, rising stars, iconic stadiums, and the stories behind the beautiful game. From Brazil to Argentina, Germany to France, and every nation chasing football glory. Join us daily at 7:55 a.m. and 11:55 a.m. Don't just watch the World Cup, live the passion. Inside the Net, road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Necessary Arts Trinidad and Tobago presents Women and Children First.
Some sisters are losing their voices.
We are losing our childhood.
Women and Children First, written and directed by Penelope Spencer.
July 5th, Little Carib Theatre, one important show.
A performance, a tribute to our women and children. Drama, comedy, a show for the whole family.
Call 752-7050 or 683-4843 for more ticket info.
Women and Children First. See you there.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready! Kalan of the Ultimate DJ Shane invite you to the Ride of the Year, Reggae Ride 26.
I met a girl this morning. She was love at first sight.
On Saturday, June 27th, on board the Harbour Master, represent your colors with a touch of gold, green, red, and white, featuring DJ Damien, Ever Slick, DJ Junior, Kalan, and the Ultimate DJ Shane. Boarding 11 p.m. and sailing at 12 midnight sharp. Tickets are only $250 and are available at all Agard's Nuts House locations, City Furniture stores nationwide, and online at islandetickets.com. Call or WhatsApp 333-7601 for more information and tickets. Walk with your coolers. No oversized coolers and no glass bottles allowed. The Reggae Ride 26 is proudly sponsored by Agard's Nuts House, City Furniture, Tocopia Hotel and Lounge, Cricket Lab Academy, Cafe Barista, Endura Malt, NFM, Rios Wax and Parlor, and Langston Roach Industries. One boat, one vibe, one love. The Reggae Ride 26.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
Hey, Fayan, the girl them a wine and I left them mark like crayon. Baby, wind up your body for me.
Start whining.
Wind up your body for me.
Start whining.
Wind up your body for me.
Start whining.
Girl, go out and wine for me.
All night, girl, you effect on the stand up there, looking all upset for your waist now.
Start whining, girl.
Shaking your head with your waist now.
Girl, move your waist
now. So girl, change that position.
Change it up.
Make a progression. Girl, turn your waistline round, shake your bumper, make it touch the ground. With your waistline position.
Waistline.
Make a progression. Girl, turn your bumper round, roll and make it touch the ground.
Me girl, change up, wine position and take the front page up. Give me a style when me want, girl. Change. Girl, wine for me. Change. Yo, girl, are you every man a pre-wine it up for me? Move your sexy body, girl. Change position. Change. Yeah, me got first thing. You know boring, you know tired, back down and snoring. Y'all wine your waist, keep it rolling. Bust the place with the waist, it exploding. Hey, if I whining, you have it up. Gyrate your waist, girl, make the body rock. Hey, you have the style, no left, no side. One bubble up your waistline, girl, just whine. Oh, wind up your body for me. 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 Wind up your body for me.
Stop wine. Hey, if you don't like them song, then tell the DJ to play this one. We always now. You in some kind of state, wasting people's time with wine in the bed. We always, girl.
Girl, your waistline dominate the place. Yo, no other girl no take your space. Girl, wine to the drum, the hands to the bass. Saddle up for the ride, you set the pace. Alright, girl, bend over to the floor now. Girl, you better than before now. Body full of shape, girl, it will carve out. To the back, to the front, girl, go all out. Why, yo? Wind up your body for me. Wind up your body for me. Baby. Girl, wind up your body for me. Say, wind up your body for me. Trinidad, girl, Asian. Me say, wind up your body for me. Say, girl, wind up your body for me.
Just got better. You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Hey, Fayan.
So we welcome everybody inside the second hour of the breakfast show on NETT Radio, New Era TT Radio. Yes, it is NETT Radio. Taking you above and beyond. I want to say a very special good morning to all the folks joining us early this morning. The Anthem crew, thank you very much for showing up. Of course, all the other persons coming in, thank you very much for being here. The breakfast show, Monday to Friday. You're getting us here on NETT Radio and Gael Caribbean TV. So good morning to the Gael people. Family, good morning to you guys. Wendell, Steve, and Richard Rakobar sing yours through Research House. We keep your company in a nice kind of way, yeah? Of course, when we come off of the Gael channel just at around 9 o'clock, and of course our social media feeds, you can come across the NETT Radio TNT or netradiott.com, and you'll be able to listen to us all day and every day.
You know boring, you know tired, back down and snoring. Y'all wine your waist, keep it rolling. Bust the place with the waist, it exploding. Hey, if I whining you up.
And of course you can give your smart devices that command NETT Radio Trinidad. Easy to follow on any one of the platforms. So whether you want TuneIn, Radio Garden, Online Radio Box, Simple Radio, give it that command. Play NETT Radio Trinidad, and of course you'll be able to hear us on all your smart devices, right? Also all our social media handles, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, especially TikTok. I need you to follow the TikTok channel, people. Alright, go check it out. Put your stamp on TikTok for me, please. NETT Radio Trinidad. Let's see if you can get those numbers up a little bit there. Of course, you can also join our WhatsApp channel. All you have to do is go to your updates tab in WhatsApp. That has been moving pretty nicely. So all you have to do is go to the WhatsApp updates tab, put in NETT Radio Trinidad, and just follow the channel. That is all you need to do. Right? And of course, you'll be able to get updates for everything that we are doing here on NETT Radio. So our morning poll, and we'll be talking with Ricardo Bharath Hernandez inside of our Let's Talk in a little bit. Our morning poll, we're asking you, should the First Peoples be given a yearly holiday along with keeping the name Piaco for our airport? What do you think? If you're voting yes, most people are voting. You're voting 1, you're voting no, you're voting 2. And when I come back, we'll tell you how you voted.
Scandal in Citrus is back in Port of Spain, and yep, we're finally at Queen's Hall for 2 nights only on Saturday the 27th of June at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 28th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available at the usual outlets and online. You can now buy tickets on our website, rsrrproductions.com. We think you'll like it. And at the Queen's Hall box office, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Scandal in Citrus. We're at Queen's Hall.
Scandal in Citrus.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Day Bay, 95 Circular Road, Vista Bella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Pinal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2, Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
What do we all want for Trinidad and Tobago? Safer communities, greater opportunities, and a better future. Join Denise Deming every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on NETT Radio for Common Ground TNT. Each week, respected guests tackle the issues affecting our nation, from crime and education to healthcare, the economy, and good governance. Common Ground TNT, finding solutions through conversation. Tuesdays at 11 a.m. on NETT Radio, Net Radio.
Calling all you NETT Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on NETT Radio, Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts, Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite NETT DJs: Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early bird tickets are just $200 after $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Crep, Bats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall, and Eastgate Small, and all NETT DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. NETT Radio, Halloween Cooler Crew, Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween on the scene.
All right, so we are back. Of course, make sure you get your tickets for the cruise. They are available at the in-stores, okay? And of course, coming up at 11 o'clock today, we start a new program on NETT Radio. Yeah. And of course, Denise Damon will join us for Common Ground TNT, where she will be looking at varied topics in Trinidad and Tobago and with her guests coming in. And yeah, that's something to look forward to. So you can join us, all the people on the social media, especially YouTube and Facebook. you will be able to get our stream coming to you at 11 o'clock. That's the next engagement time for our social media platform today. Right, guys?
Yeah. For somebody who gives their mouth a lot of liberty to all of a sudden now be condemning Mr. Samaru, I don't know, no? They give their mouth and their fingers a lot of liberty. Anyway, of course, we could take some calls on our poll. Our poll is still up. Should the First Peoples be given a yearly holiday along with keeping the name Piaco? It's a 2-in-1 question. But basically, the first part is the part we're focusing on. We'll speak to Mr. Bharath Hernandez, Chief Bharath Hernandez, in a short while. But should the First Peoples be given a yearly public holiday? That's basically the genesis of our poll. Yes or no? But you get to call in and talk about it because we may not get a chance when we actually speak with Mr. Hernandez. So you could talk about it now, right? The issues of the poll.
Yeah, so people, you can call us now to comment on the poll that's up there, 2811315 or 2995156. Right? You know the numbers. What are your thoughts? Do you think that it should be? I mean, we have had a lot of discussion where that is concerned over time.
We in favor of it.
But we in favor of everything, any kind of holiday.
Yeah, so that goes without saying. We don't even have a vote on this. We don't even have a vote on this one.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's not into debate.
Just bring on holidays, no problem. All right. I think we have a caller coming in here now. Caller, good morning to you.
Yeah, morning, the breakfast show.
Morning, Mr. Billy.
Morning, sir. To on the poll, I say yes, they have made a double mark on the land. So I am voting yes. My substantive contribution, though, is on the pettiness of the politics in Trinidad and Tobago. And I say that from when I was at Facebook and see the amount of criticism of the honorable opposition leader, Ms. Beckles, right? And, I don't know why the politics have to be so with this amount of hate and this amount of confrontation. And our country, think the government will not solve our problem if we had that kind of culture and that kind of backwardness in the politics, right? I don't understand it. Why it is that these people say all these nasty things because the opposition leader take a picture with our government minister. Who is the government minister of finance? Why is that amount of hate? This country, Wendell have always been a PNM person. I know Wendell. And Wendell is friends for over 40-something years. Sometimes I drop in my Wendell place and send him with the rum box over it. And we have a beverage and we laugh, we talk about the days of the infirmary and all this kind of thing. Wendell have never shown me. I'm at my own season Wendell and telling him that he should be the mayor. I will ask him that today. He writes it somewhere around there. I always make jokes with Wendell and we have always have a cordial, nice, respectful relationship. Even with family members and things. Even when the former minister of national security, I used to visit his home and things. So I don't know. And I am just making a clarion call to the supporters of both sides. So tone it down and behave on itself. Don't get on so. We all have to dare.
Thanks very much, Mr. Billy.
Thank you.
The business of the politics.
I didn't know that. I didn't see those comments because they met at Labor Day down in Faizabad, but I didn't see any untoward comments. Maybe there were. I expect comments on anything now, yes?
2995156. If you have a comment on the poll, people, this is where you get to comment on the poll. All right, so we just have a couple more minutes. Our guest is already backstage. Yeah. So let me
we still have 4 minutes again.
Let me show you how you've been voting so far.
Well, everybody voting yes so far.
Yeah.
And they are supportive of it.
Hello, good morning to you. Kola, good morning.
Oh, morning again, gentlemen.
Front and center.
Yeah. Front and center. Hey, yes.
Absolutely yes. However, you gotta pull one. I mean, you're getting work done. You gotta pull one, definitely. And
Which one?
There's one or two that could definitely be pulled.
Which one?
And I think, no. You get set me up for one.
No, you said pull one. Which one?
Yeah,
you want to pull one. You want to say which one to pull.
Yeah, wait, whoa. Hey, PNM people hate me. UNC people hate me now. You wonder everybody hate me now? Oh God, nah. But really though, I want to ask Mr. Hernandez an interesting question though. Like, I fully believe in what they stand for and so on. Why did you keep the name Hernandez though? I mean, wouldn't it be unique for representing your culture and so on, the original peoples? Maybe you might be able to trace it. Maybe do like, some others that we know of, great Trinidadian and Tobagonians, and it'd be good, Just look into that. That's just my curiosity.
Well,
if you can
hopefully you'll be able to answer that.
I mean no malice and I mean no mischief, okay?
Okay.
But I just wondered. And Piako, keep Piako just as it is, okay? Especially so when they say they want to name it. Look, I'm going to hush my mouth on that one, but there are people who make jail for that new airport that you have there, and others still walking around free in Trinidad and in Florida. So no, keep Piako.
All right, okay, no problem. Thanks very much, Regina. Robert, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking that the first people will promise a holiday. And I think we had that discussion a couple of programs back. Isn't it?
You asking it? What's the question?
The first people, I think they were given an opportunity to have a holiday from some programs back. We discussed that and they refused it.
Yes,
isn't it?
Yeah, they said they wanted a one-off holiday. I think it was.
It would not be no problem if they were given a holiday at the time, but they refused it. Right? And the second thing is with Piako, I don't think it's a change in Piako. I agree with the last caller. We should leave Piako name right where it is. Right? Things don't need to change because you in control or whatever. You don't need to change that to do what? Leave it right where it is. I mean, don't fear, we know Piako International Airport. Leave it just like that. As when the first people again, as I say, they're the ones who decided not to accept the holidays. So I don't think, democratically, yes, we can discuss it, but I don't think it will make a difference right now.
Okay.
All right? That's my view.
Okay, no problem. Thanks very much, Robert. All right, Wendell. So the poll is closed at this point in time. No contention here.
And it remains 100% saying yes.
Yeah.
Should the First Peoples be given a yearly holiday along with keeping the name Piako for airport? 100% of you said yes. All right, Piako, let me tell you some history. Piako is an indigenous word widely believed to have Kalina, Carib, or Arawak roots. While a specific direct English translation does not exist, historical records in Trinidad and Tobago indicate the word is connected to a traditional indigenous chief who governed the area or refers to a flat, open area. Today, the term is primarily used as a proper noun in following ways: Piako International Airport and the Piako region, all right? So it is, in fact, indigenous name, all right? It has a history of the indigenous people, all right? So that's a little bit of history there.
Yeah. And we only have about 15 or 16 holidays in Trinidad and Tobago. If we get about 3 more, that'd be good. Yeah, that just kind of a little 3 more. Anyhow, let's get into our Let's Talk segment. Richard, any comments on the poll?
None.
All right, well, let's get into our Let's Talk segment this morning.
So good morning, Chief Ricardo Bharath Hernandez. And welcome to the
morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
Hi, morning, Mr. Hernandez. Former deputy mayor, right?
That's right.
Right, you were deputy mayor. That's what I was trying to remember.
Yes.
Deputy mayor of Arima, of course. Thanks for joining us on the breakfast show. Well, you would have seen the results of our poll, where a lot of people are in full support of a yearly holiday for the first people. Mainly, we will talk about Piako Airport a bit. But what are your thoughts on it?
Okay, good morning, Wendell and your crew, for providing us with the opportunity to share with the rest of the community, the nation. On the issue of Piako, what we are saying is that Piako, as you mentioned, is an indigenous name with indigenous roots and has indigenous connections. And we believe, as the guardian of indigenous heritage in Trinidad and Tobago, that we cannot just stand by and see the erosion or the erasion of whatever is left of our indigenous heritage. We have lost so much already. And to remove the name Piako will be further contributing to the erosion rather of that indigenous heritage and ties. Today it might be Piako, tomorrow it might be Arima, the next day it might be Tunapuna. So then, we have to take a stand against it. And this is our position. So at the end of the day, whichever government believes that they must change the name, if they reach to that point, they should find a way to incorporate and to leave Piako with whatever name, if it will come to that. And I just want to say that this issue and the discussion about the name really didn't come from the government of the day as yet. It came from an NGO calling for it, and we haven't heard any pronunciation from the government as such. So I want to clarify that. That is not to say that this is a new development. This is an old development. The last administration may have had thoughts on doing the same thing, but they contacted us to get our take on it and what we feel and what we know about it. And we expressed the very same view that we are expressing now. We expressed to them, and we didn't hear anything much more from them at that time. So this is our position. We are to preserve whatever is left of the indigenous heritage in whatever form, in whatever way that it is left in Trinidad.
Mm-hmm. The issue of course, if I remember carefully, Chief Hernandez, you were part of a government-appointed committee, I think, in the last dispensation, to review some of these things in terms of name changes and what the proposals of the First Peoples. What has become of that committee, and who else formed part of that committee?
Okay, so that committee, yes, as you rightly said, was a cabinet-appointed committee under the last administration, and it was to deal specifically with the looking at statues, monuments, and place names in Trinidad and Tobago, how relevant they are, some of them today. How do we go about changing them if they are to be changed? What mechanisms and so we can use for that? That committee was headed by Dr. Rita Pemberton, myself, and there were several other people. I cannot recall all the names now, but that committee did its work and it compiled a report. And that report was presented to the former Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, and I think it is available to the public online. So yes, we did come up with a report and make recommendations to the government on how, we saw after wide consultation with the national community, stakeholders, many NGOs, individuals, and so on. So the committee comprised Dr. Rita Pemberton, who was the chairman, Mr. Lawrence Ajun, Ms. Annalene Innis from the Ministry of Local Government, Dr. Eastlyn McKenzie of Tobago, Ms. Zaida Rajnath, a former permanent secretary here, and Mr. Kobe Sandy. And these were the people who comprised that committee.
Could you enlighten us as to what were some of the recommendations made by this committee?
Well, some of the recommendations, this is because of the uproar with the Columbus concern. That is what sparked it. So a lot of focus was placed on the Columbus statue. And by and large, the majority of people consulted and so on felt that the statue should be removed, but it should not be destroyed, that it should be placed either in the museum or some place with the proper history attached to it, so that students and other people can know of Columbus and really what he stood for and so on. So that was the major point of discussion. Among other things were several names in the country that had colonial names, like some of the governors and so on, and that didn't sit well with most people because some of them were very brutal to the society, so they felt it could be removed and replaced with names of our people of our day that contributed to the development of Trinidad and Tobago. They looked at how you go about naming streets, who it should be named after consultation with the community, who it affects mainly, and recommendations were made as to the indigenous peoples that a monument should be placed at the Red House site where the burial of the human remains were found. We asked for that during another committee that maybe some 10 years ago was established to look at how you handle the remains and so on. So a lot of recommendations, too numerous for me to recall now, but it is documented and it could be found for the national community.
Chief Hernandez, I know that at some point, I don't know if the picture behind you is a replica of the intention of the land that was given to the First Peoples, and they were supposed to develop it into a particular kind of First Peoples village or something like that, if I remember correctly. What is the current status of that?
Okay, well, thanks for that question. Well, yes, you are correct that the picture behind is to reflect that space when it is completed. We started development quite a few years ago with assistance from different quarters. Mainly in the last government, there was contracts given out to further develop and bring that place to what you see, in the picture. But with the change of government, that development stopped. And from that time to now, we are stagnant. We are in a place of not going forward, and that is sad because some of the work that was done is already beginning to erode because of not being completed, and the rain and so is doing further damage. And we have been calling on the authorities. We are placed in the Ministry of Community Development and Culture. We have had an initial meeting with the Honorable Minister very early in their tenure, and we have been trying to get another meeting to see how we go forward. So far, we haven't been successful, but we continue to lobby, and we are hopeful that they will, heed our request to meet to see how we can further develop that. Because you see, it is not only a space for First Peoples, it is a space for Trinidad and Tobago. So many of our students across the country come to our museum here, for information. And what is our intention for that space is to have a living museum where when you go there, we just not talk to you about things of the past, but you can see in real time that, some of these practices, how they prepare the traditional foods, how they do the traditional craft in so many different areas, which we still have. And if nothing is done, it will soon be all lost and gone. And it will be a sad day for Trinidad because a great part of our history will be gone, will be erased. So we are hopeful that they will, give heed to our call for a meeting to see how we can proceed with the development of this space.
Okay. Is it that buildings have gone up, or it was just infrastructure work at this point?
Infrastructure and some traditional buildings, some traditional thatch roof buildings, which are to be completed, and the further completion of the development work that started. Together with agriculture, well, we continue to do the agriculture, the community, planting different crops and so, because it's a total of 55 acres of land.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, if we could also look at the issue of the holiday. I know we haven't discussed that yet. The issue of a holiday representing or recognizing the First Peoples. Has there been any traction in terms of your discussing that with the current administration?
Well, yes, I did raise it in that initial meeting that we had. I said when they just took office, we had a general discussion of introduction and and wide discussion on the community and what the community is about, and the issue of the holiday was raised. And I'm glad for the opportunity, because I heard someone commented that we refused the public holiday. That is not correct, because we felt at the time that, just as now, a permanent holiday to be granted was such a challenge because of the long list of holidays that already exist, and because of the pressing need to bring the national community up to standard with the indigenous peoples and their history and their contribution. We felt that it would have been easier to accomplish a one-off holiday to reach that goal. And it would have been easier for the government to grant it. And so that happened, that we were granted a one-off holiday. And it did accomplish to some extent what we set out to do. But since that time to now, we have gone back to square one. In that, on the day of recognition, which was a decision by a former government also to grant this day of recognition, it is a day without meaning for the national community. We are talking to ourselves. Even some of our own people cannot participate because of their jobs. The young people cannot attend because usually it is in the school period. And there's so many people that we come in contact with and say, why you all don't have a public holiday? Because that gives you a platform, just as the other major groups in the society, where we can recall our past history, where we can, state to the national community our current state and our plans for future development. And a national holiday gives you that sort of platform. So we have reverted back to the call for the national holiday. And I don't know if we will accomplish that, because I see other groups are calling for holidays also. And when you have all these other groups calling for holidays, it really puts you in a difficult position. Well, the authorities in a difficult position as how to deal with the situation. But I feel that no other group in the society should be given a holiday before the First Peoples get a permanent holiday, because all the other groups have some sort of holiday that they can hinge on to express their situation and so on. So that is our position. Yes, we have reopened the discussion for the public holiday, and but we haven't had any feedback from the authorities yet as to that position.
Is there a date? Was there a date proposed?
Well, the Santa Rosa First Peoples community the day of recognition have been given, and that since the Pandey administration, as the 14th of October. And that date was chosen because it is the day when Hayarima, the chief of the Nupeoyo people, on the 14th of October in the year 1637, rebelled against the Spaniards and burned the town of St. Joseph in retaliation to the oppression of the First Peoples by the colonizers. And if I may, we hear on every emancipation, or even not every emancipation, but more so at emancipation, more so at Indian arrival, they recall the plight of their peoples and the suffering and trials of their peoples. And you hardly hear anything about the First People's plight and suffering. They were murdered, suffered even greater than these two other major groups. I'm not saying that they should not advocate and lobby for their space and retain that history. That is quite in order. What is the space? What is the space? What is the opportunity? What is the platform given to the First Peoples to do the very same thing for the preservation of the heritage and the culture? Without such a platform, sooner or later, everything will be gone. Because when the fighters of today for the cause is gone and are no more, the younger ones coming behind do not have that drive. They do not have the knowledge, and so it will sooner or later be lost entirely. I don't know if that is what they are playing for, but that is what is the reality.
Yeah, but you've just given me even more impetus to call for this holiday. Are you sure it's not the 15th of October? that's actually my birthday.
That's your birthday. Well, you can have an early birthday when.
Right. Is there no succession planning in terms of the organization of the First People? Because you say the younger people have less drive. So is it that there is a gap after the current leadership in terms of passing the baton, so to speak, that is concerning you?
Well, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that Yes, in the sense that the young people are not seeing the merit. They are there, they show some interest, but they are not seeing the merit as to be fully devoted and committed, or the benefits, I should say, as other groups. Other groups have that, and they have something that they can pass on, which is tangible and which is worthwhile. The first peoples are still struggling. They are still in the struggle. So that when they are elevated to a status of respect and a status of something worth going after, then you will find more young people having that drive to go after it. And yes, there's succession planning, but I say again, people gravitate to where there's benefit, where there is some benefit for their livelihood and for their future themselves.
Mm-hmm. No, Chief Hernandez, you said earlier on that the project, the work that was taking place at the lands given, I think you said it's 5 acres, 55 acres.
The government gave 25 acres, and we acquired together with that another 30 acres, so that in all it's 55 acres.
Right, but is it that only the government was putting funds into it? Or did you have any other benefactors?
The initial funds that we got to start work on that was given by an organization, UNESCO, through the Ministry of Education. So that enabled us to start the first thatch roof buildings. And since then, we have had a couple businessmen in Arima making small contributions towards that development, and the government will be looked forward as the major contributor in this field, because if they can help us to bring the first phase, there are I think 4 or 5 phases of development, but if we can get the first phase of this project on stream, we believe that by itself will be able to bring the resources to develop the other parts. We also had some input from Habitat for Humanity, who contributed significantly to the present state of the development.
Is the hope then that the place will be able to sustain itself once it's completed?
Certainly it must be able to sustain itself, otherwise it will go to nothing. And there's so much potential in that place, so much potential, so that it is only our hope that the government reopen revisit that, and through the PSIP, we started to develop under the PSIP. The contract stopped, as I said, but we need to look at how we can get it, started back again.
Right.
Because you would think it would be one, not only from an educational perspective, in terms of an educational space for information on the First Peoples, but it will also be it will add to the tourism product, and it'll be fairly unique in the English Caribbean if you could develop it widely across that 55 acres. So I mean, certainly your vision could be all manner of things that we could do there to enhance its profitability. So I mean, it seems to me that it would be something that the state, in terms of global Trinidad and Tobago, if they're looking at the brand of Trinidad and Tobago, that our respect and vision for the First People should be incorporated in that brand.
Certainly.
Certainly, but I don't know what their thinking is at this point. Maybe they are thinking it, I don't know.
Yes, we wait to see.
Yeah. Is it that the First Peoples have any connection also to the Lopino site? Because I went up to Lopino for the first time in a long while the other day, and I saw an impressive building there, and I think it's a museum. You know what I mean? Are you all also connected to what's happening in Lopino?
We are connected to a certain point in that the same peoples who settled there as the First Peoples, they are the same people the same peoples for Arima, in that they're related. Most of the people in Lopino are related to the First Peoples community in Arima, Lopino, so they're related. There were indigenous settlements there because quite a lot of artifacts were found in Lopino of the First Peoples, taken away for studies and so on, and reports made on them. So yes, we are basically have the same cultural heritage and background.
There is no.
What any connection? Did you all have any contribution being made on the issue of Nelson Island? I know that it became a topic recently with Nelson Island having a proposed name change. Are you all involved in that process also?
Well, no, not officially, but I mean, with the general discussion, we were asked a couple times, and yes, our position is we don't have a problem with a name change for Nelson Island, because who was Nelson? Most likely he would have been some Englishman who did not, didn't contribute well to the development of the society. I don't know. I really don't know the true history, but we don't really have a problem with a name change for Nelson Island. The problem lies with what name you would put, how you will arrive at a name, because Nelson Island has touched several communities in Trinidad, not one sector, but several communities. And for us, we don't, for our community, we don't have a hard and fast position on that, as we have on Piako.
Yeah. Someone is asking, how is the land vested? Is it vested in the group, the Santa Rosa First Peoples community, or is it vested? All right. How is the land vested?
It is vested in the Santa Rosa First Peoples community. It is collective investment, yes, the community.
Okay. All right. And someone else is suggesting to teach your children about their Garifuna heritage, and it will endure. What is the Garifuna heritage?
The Garifuna heritage came from St. Vincent, and it is a mixture of the black people, or the Afro people, and the Caribbean, the Caribs who on the island. They mixed together as a race. As you know, they were exiled to Belize. They retained their language, and it is very prominent in Belize and Honduras and these places like that. Yes, more so I will say than the original Caribbean and Nipoyo.
Okay.
I would like to touch on something that I heard in the discussion. Someone mentioned about the name Hernandez. Why did I, if I remember correctly, why did I keep the name Hernandez or something like that? But you must remember that the first peoples under the encomienda system, that was the first governance system of the Spaniards, where they formed encomiendas. I think there were 3 main encomiendas in Trinidad: Tacarigua, Arauca, and Cora. And the indigenous peoples were brought into this system. And from that time, they were converted, first of all, to Christianity, Catholic Christianity. Their names were changed, because when they were baptized, they had to take Spanish names. So the first names were given after the saints of the church, and the last name was given after an estate owner or some high-profile ranking Spaniard, so that it is very difficult, after coming down the line from encomiendas to mission to the present day, to change those names to what obtained before. You understand? It could be done, but that is a very tedious process, and you will have to do some education, quite a lot of education, to educate people on that process. So most of the people who have of indigenous heritage and descent carry Spanish names, and that is so because of the colonization, and what was forced upon the people.
Yeah. So if you had to prioritize what you would like to see happen, Chief Fernandez,
yes,
what would your priorities be?
My first priority would be for the government to reopen the process to complete that heritage site, because I think so much potential is there. It is a space for education, which is so important in preserving the heritage, and it also contributes to the culture, to the heritage, preserving the heritage and the culture. So that is the immediate thing. While at the same time, it brings returns to the persons who will be there, such as employment and so on. So that's the first priority. The second priority will be for the government to establish what we call a Bureau of First Peoples Affairs, because in the past we have had some cabinet appointed committees. These committees did achieve to a certain level certain things, but still quite a lot need to be done. So that bureau or committee or whatever you want to call it can look at the issues affecting First Peoples and channel those issues to the appropriate ministries or departments for attention. We don't have time to explore all of that, but forestry is one that comes to mind. There is so much interaction with the First Peoples and forestry that needs special attention. In other countries, you have those kinds of relationships. So that will be the second. And the third priority will be for the government to look at that holiday and to see how best we can get that. And I leave that for last because I know it is a harder challenge than the first two that I mentioned.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Anything else, guys?
No. I mean, I think we covered a lot of what we would have wanted to discuss. I mean, I don't know that the holiday is, I suppose, because of the lobbying about holidays, maybe makes it a challenge. But the state could declare that holiday by, in record time if they really wanted to do it. It's not that difficult.
They will.
Yeah,
they will to do it.
Yeah.
I have someone who has a question for the Mr. Bharath. Caller, good morning.
Good morning to the chief.
Morning,
good morning.
Mr. Bharath.
Yes.
I want to ask a question about your group and your peoples and the Cleaver Woods. Didn't you have an association with the Cleaver Woods?
Well, yes, we had an association.
Finish your question and then he will answer you. Go ahead.
Yeah, why I'm asking is because it seems to have been not taken care of this last meeting and in a state of disrepair. When I say that, the amount of bush and the state of the edges of it, the surroundings. When we had the CPEP and URP, it used to be very clean. What is happening now? This is why I'm asking if you all still are associated with it and if you use it at all.
Yeah.
Okay, we start to set up stalls, selling things on that area, which is very ridiculous. So that's why I'm asking, do you all have anything to do with the Cleaver Woods?
Okay. No.
Not in an official capacity. Very early in the earlier days, the authorities would contact us to come there and do displays and lectures and so on. Many of the artifacts that are there came from our community, but this is under the Ministry of Agriculture. That was established under the Ministry of Agriculture. So that now that I really don't know very much what is happening at present, other than to say yes.
Because interestingly enough that Zena brought that up, because sometimes when I pass Cleaver Woods, I'm wondering what on earth is going on with Cleaver Woods, because there was a plan years ago, and in terms of motivating some action with regard to it, and also making it a leisure spot, and with trails and all of that, and I mean the outskirts in terms of the fencing was always a little ridiculous, even at that point. I felt it wasn't well done because you could do it in a particular way and a particular aesthetic to go to whatever vision you had for this space. But like there was a vision because it straddles both sides of that main road. And you always wonder, because it still exists, it's there.
Yes.
But it seems as if it in my mind, when I pass on the road, I think of it as being abandoned.
Yes.
I don't know that anything happens. I just think in my mind of it being abandoned. And it's a wonderful resource. Trinidad again in a kind of way. It's like
I have one final question, Chief, before we close. What's your relationship like with the borough of Arima, the new mayor and the borough of Arima itself? Have you all been getting any assistance from them?
We have a good relationship in that mostly the borough would assist us with transport, quite a lot of transport. They helped us to carry a lot of stuff to the hill for development and so on. And whatever they are able to do, given the resources that they have, they would assist us whenever we call upon them. So I will say it's a fairly good relationship with the borough.
All right, well, that's good to hear. That's refreshing to hear. All right, so thank you very much, Chief Ricardo Bharath Hernandez, for joining us on the Breakfast Show. It was long overdue, but we are happy to have you. And of course, you would have enlightened us with a lot of issues that surrounding the First Peoples.
It's a pleasure, and thanks for the opportunity to be able to share and clarify some of these issues with the national community. Thank you.
Right. Let's move speedily ahead to get this holiday going. All right.
Good luck.
You have our support. All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's go for the news now, and then when we come back, we'll open the lines again.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on Net Radio and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Activist Alyssa Phillip and her mother, Camille Carrasquero, have been granted $60,000 bail after appearing in court on charges stemming from last Friday's Labor Day march. Phillip is accused of leading a march, failing to disperse participants, disorderly behavior, and resisting arrest. Carrasquero faces charges including failing to disperse, obstructing a police officer, and resisting arrest. The pair appeared virtually before the court and were allowed to keep the bail granted at the police station. No conditions were attached. The matters were transferred to the Superior Magistrates Court and are scheduled to resume on July 20th. Phillip and Carrasquero are also before the courts on separate charges linked to an earlier protest over the prosecution of Kaya Seeley. Activist Alyssa Phillip says the 19 Bullets, 19 Protest campaign has come to an end following Friday's Labor Day march and her arrest in Faizabad. In a statement posted to social media, Phillip thanked supporters, saying she never saw herself as an activist, but simply someone willing to speak out on issues affecting the country. She said the June 19 march was a call for citizens, especially young people, to find their voice and stand up for what they believe in, adding that real change comes when ordinary people refuse to stay silent. Phillip said the campaign may be over, but the fight for accountability, justice, and a better Trinidad and Tobago continues. Phillip and her mother, Camille Carrasquero, remain before the courts on charges arising from Friday's protest and an earlier demonstration in Port of Spain. The Tobago House of Assembly is seeking a budget allocation of $4.12 billion for fiscal 2027. Presenting the THA budget today, Finance Secretary Petal-Ann Roberts said the funding would support long-term economic resilience and results-based governance. The proposal includes $3.03 billion for recurrent expenditure and $1.09 billion for development projects, with the largest allocation of just over $1 billion going to health. Roberts said Tobago is expected to generate $220.5 million in revenue next year, but argued that significant revenue earned on the island is still being collected in Trinidad. She also announced plans to pursue international funding and public-private partnerships to support housing, infrastructure, and climate resilience projects. Police are investigating 2 murders and a robbery over the weekend. In Maracas Valley, 36-year-old Warren Small was shot dead near his home just weeks after being acquitted of a 2020 double murder. Meanwhile, in Pleasantville, San Fernando City Corporation employee Marlon Williams was chased and killed by gunmen. His mother, who has now lost 3 children to gun violence, says the country's crime situation is terrible. Meanwhile, 4 masked men robbed a supermarket in Barrackpore, assaulting a security guard before escaping with a safe containing about $40,000, 2 cash registers, and cartons of cigarettes. The weekend violence has pushed the country's murder toll to 183. In sport, Lionel Messi has become the all-time leading scorer in FIFA World Cup history after netting his 17th and 18th tournament goals in Argentina's 2-0 victory over Austria. Messi broke the previous record in the 38th minute before adding another in stoppage time, helping the defending champions secure a place in the knockout round with a second straight win. The 38-year-old has now scored in 6 consecutive World Cup matches and has accounted for all 5 of Argentina's goals in the tournament so far. Messi reached the milestone despite missing an early penalty, and while his father continues to undergo medical treatment for an undisclosed illness. Finally, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced his resignation just 2 years after leading the Labour Party to a landslide election victory. Starmer says he will remain as caretaker Prime Minister until a new party leader is chosen. Former Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham is the frontrunner after confirming he will seek the leadership, with backing from former Health Secretary Wes Streeting. Starmer's popularity has fallen amid concerns over the economy, the cost of living, and a series of political missteps. He says he accepts his party's decision with good grace and expects a new Labour leader to be in place before Parliament returns in September. And that is Net Radio News at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Welcome to Inside the Net on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio. Our daily insights as we count down the journey to FIFA World Cup 2026. Here is today's insight.
The FIFA World Cup is not only about players, it is also about the fans. The people who travel thousands of miles, wave their flags, sing their national songs, and create the atmosphere that makes the World Cup unique. From Brazil's sea of yellow shirts to Argentina's non-stop chanting and pride, from England's loyal and traveling supporters to Morocco's incredible and passionate following. The tournament becomes a celebration of culture and identity. Every nation brings its own traditions, its own energy, its own voice. Fans fill stadiums, gather in public squares, and watch from homes around the world. Some celebrate victory, others endure heartbreak. But all become part of the World Cup story. As 2026 approaches, millions of supporters are already dreaming of following their teams. Because the World Cup belongs not only to the players, but to the fans who bring it to life. This has been Inside the Net, Road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights. Join us again for another World Cup Insight as we continue the journey to football's biggest stage.
You've been listening to Inside the Net as we count down the journey to FIFA World Cup 2026 on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
All aboard! Calling all you Net Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on Net Radio, Halloween, Cooler Crew in red, white and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts, Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite net DJs, Sir Child, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early bird tickets are just $200 after $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumbox, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Crep, Bats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall and Eastgate Small, and all net DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your cooler, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. Net Radio, Halloween, Cooler Crew, Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween, on the scene.
Necessary Arts Trinidad and Tobago presents Women and Children First.
Some sisters are losing their voices.
We are losing
Children First, written and directed by Penelope Spencer.
July 5th, Little Carib Theatre, one important show.
A performance, a tribute to our women and children.
Drama, comedy, a show for the whole family.
Call 752-7050 or 683-4843 for more ticket info.
Women and children first. See you there.
What do we all want for Trinidad and Tobago? Safer communities, greater opportunities, and a better future. Join Denise Deming every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on NETT Radio for Common Ground TNT. Each week, respected guests tackle the issues affecting our nation, from crime and education to healthcare, the economy, and good governance. Common Ground TNT, finding solutions through conversation. Tuesdays at 11 a.m. on NETT Radio, Net Radio.
Flavor Entertainment Services, your one-stop premium entertainment service provider. We offer top-tier, best-in-class karaoke and DJ services for your private events, sports bars and lounge. Let us help make your birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, and corporate special events memorable and special. Call us now at 462-2029. We provide more than just music. We create memories that last.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready! Keelan of the Ultimate DJ Shane invite you to the Ride of the Year, Reggae Ride 26.
I met a girl this morning. She was love at first sight.
On Saturday, June 27, on board the Harbour Master, represent your colors with a touch of gold, green, red, and white, featuring DJ Damien, Ever Slick, DJ Junior, Keelan, and the Ultimate DJ Shane. Boarding 11 p.m. and sailing at 12 midnight sharp. Tickets are only $250 and are available at all AGAT's Nuts House locations, City Furniture stores nationwide, and online at islandetickets.com. Call or WhatsApp 333-7601 for more information and tickets. Walk with your coolers. No oversized coolers and no glass bottles allowed. The Reggae Ride 26 is proudly sponsored by AGAT's Nuts House, City Furniture, Tocopia Hotel and Lounge, Cricket Lab Academy, Cafe Barista, Endura Malt, NFM, Rios Waxing Parlor, and Langston Roach Industries. One boat, one vibe, one love. The Reggae Ride 26.
Scandal in Citrus is back in Port of Spain, and yep, we're finally at Queen's Hall for 2 nights only on Saturday the 27th of June at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 28th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available at the usual outlets and online. You can now buy tickets on our website, rsrrproductions.com. We think you'll like it. And at the Queen's Hall box office, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Scandal in Citrus. We're at Queen's Hall.
Scandal in Citrus.
Okay, so we are back on the breakfast show, the final leg of the breakfast show on this Tuesday. So just a couple of things to let you know that coming up at 11 o'clock, look out for Common Ground with Denise Deming. It's a brand new program here on the net. So we look forward to continue to bring you great programming on the net. So just come across to netradiott.com so you can listen to the program. And of course, all of you who are on YouTube and Facebook, well, you'll be able to view the program. All right, so remember your next engagement on our social media platform today will be at 11 o'clock. Right? Well, I'm sure you're going to get all the notifications, so tune in. And of course, we are also getting ready for the Cooler Cruise. Where's Wendell Stephen?
I'm here.
Okay, right. So we are getting ready for the Cooler Cruise with the 15th of August, and we will be on the Island Royalty, which is a very nice yacht. And we are boarding at 7 p.m. We'll be sailing at 8 p.m. from Hartscott. Now, when I remember, he was asking where we are.
Hartscott. Okay.
Right.
All right.
So that is down by the cove.
Yes, right. I know where that is.
Right. I think it's
That's
on
all the way down to the very end.
Right. So right down at the end. So after that, you have to go and talk to the soul now.
Yeah. The guard would right there.
Right. So that is it. Right. So we're boarding down there so that is where the boat will be boarding at Hartscott, right? And we are leaving at 8 o'clock. So you have to get yourself in again early. Tickets right now, the early bird tickets are $200. So we want you to come out and support us and come and hang out with us. Come and hang out with the breakfast team. Come and hang out with all the other DJs and presenters on the net. It's like first time that we actually coming together like that. And we want you all to be part of it. So get your tickets. Right now, the tickets are just $200. And you can get them at Crosby's if you're in St. James. You can also go and check out Wendell at Rumbox. If you're a little further down in St. James, and if you go a little further down to West Mall, well, you're going to check out the folks out there at K Squared Fashion, right, at West Mall. If you're heading east, you stop out at Bobby's Bar in Kirep, well-known Bobby's Bar in Kirep. If you pass Kirep, you must have taken a drink by Bobby's at some point in time. So you can get the tickets there. Heading further east, you could stop at the mall there. What's the name of the mall? Escape me right now. Right? Eastgate Mall at K Squared Fashions at Eastgate Mall. And then you reach to Arima, where you can go to Fats International. That is right opposite Richard's favorite lineman spot in my Castro's there. Right? So go and check out the folks out there at Fats International. And of course, for the people in San Fernando, K Squared Fashions at C3 Center. So get your tickets and get them early, because after the early tickets finish, you will have to pay $250. All right. So try and get the early tickets at $200. And we're looking forward to you guys coming and having a fantastic time with us on the net. Support the net in all that we do. You've been supporting us. So we look forward to your continued support with this cooler cruise. But
and of course, you could buy your drinks. You could buy your drinks for the cooler at Rumbox.
And
Rumbox might be able to throw in something extra in your cooler that day.
You see? Right? The only thing we tell you is just don't put any glass bottles, right?
Yeah, don't put glass bottles.
Plastic. Go plastic all the way. Right? So as you're heading down, call when they're ready, make sure you have all your stocks and you can, And remember, when you bring your cooler, we're drinking everything in your cooler. You're not kind back.
I had to tell Harper stock up on some ice that day, so that we could help people who have their coolers and to put some ice in it and things.
Yeah, so that is it. So we're looking forward to all of you all coming up, and wherever you are in your different spaces, organize your crew, call your team, call them now. Organize them, and if you can't reach the ticket outlets, you can send us a message here. You know, to get in contact with us on the net. All our numbers, 2811315 or 2995156. And everybody else knows my number. It has been public for a long, long time. So just call and we will get your tickets to you. We'll reserve your tickets, we reserve your space. And we want to make sure that you are going to have a good time on the 15th of August. So that is the cooler cruise. And while I'm at it, let me also remind you all that theater is on this weekend while Richard is off the platform for a little bit. Scandal is in Cedrus, but it is in Queen's Hall. Right, this Saturday and Sunday. Get your tickets for Scandal in Cedrus. Of course, all the regular outlets, Chamfle Auto and K Squared Fashions. And he has a couple more outlets, but I'm sure he will tell us about that when he joins us inside of this hour a little later on. And next week they're heading to Naparima Bowl, so you'll have a lot of theater coming at you in the next couple of weeks with Scandal in Citrus.
Yeah, man.
What else do I need to tell you all? Well, we are here. Interesting conversation there with Mr. Bharath.
Yeah.
Mr. Bharath Hernandez. I'm happy that he decided to explain the name situation. So, Virginia, I'm happy that he heard you and he answered your question, right?
Yeah.
So it's very historic with the name also. So it's not just a name with them. Yeah. And as you talk about that Cleaver Woods area too, I mean, I know that Cleaver Woods area, but it's within recent time, it's not a place I would walk in.
It just looks scary. It always looked scary. Well, it looks scarier now.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who have been robbed in that area. Oh my word. Yeah, just going and stepping out, and sometimes you don't know what to do in Trinidad and Tobago to be safe anymore. Normally you're taking a drive, you stop out, you take a little picture, you relax with the family. You can't do that.
I remember that's a big feature of traveling, going in parks and walking through areas abroad. That's a huge feature of traveling, and you never feel threatened in any one of those areas.
And that is it. And in Trinidad and Tobago, it is getting frightening. I remember there was a night I was going to a party up in Arima, leaving Port of Spain and coming up. And when I reached right by that Cleaver area, it's about like 2 a.m. I see the driver just swerve. So I said, well, wait just because I cannot sleep in the back, taking my little rest between the parties and stuff. There's a man lying down in the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a man who just lying down in the road,
He's lying down for you to stop. Yeah.
No, it's some men who actually they must get him to stop and rob the man. Take the man vehicle, Wendell. Take the man the only thing they leave him with is his shoes. It was pure wickedness. They take the straps from his shoes and tie his hands and his feet. They take off all the man's clothes. And he probably hobbled to get somebody attention. Go on with the man van and everything.
Wow.
I said, boy, you done rob the man, but you had to humiliate the man that way, right? Yeah.
Come away with his life.
Yeah. It is something else. So, but I don't know. Sometimes I like you and sometimes I don't know where we're going now.
Well, I know. I don't. Anyway.
I don't know.
TTP solve Sterling Francois murder. Please solve it. I was very hopeful last night. I had a conversation with an officer of the Homicide Bureau in whatever division, that region that is. So I'm very hopeful that something will happen soon.
Yeah.
It's just so depressing what happened. You know what I mean? It's crazy, yes.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I hope that the TTPS also will try and see, because I'm realizing that within recent time, Wendell, we are going back to this cable stealing situation. Yes, we had a problem with all these cable and copper wires being stolen coming through the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The fellas were stealing everything and selling it to the scrap yards and that sort of thing. But apparently that copper wire stealing thing has started back again. And not just in Trinidad, because I remember not too long ago in Tobago, they had a problem with washer things being vandalized. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
A couple of the washer stations. And then within recent times, I see in Trinidad now, quite recently in Penal, I think it was, or Princess Town, that the entire area was shut down because people stole the cable, and not just a little bit of cable. When they're stealing miles of cable. So it's not to say that TNT could just come and replace that just so that you're out of electricity for a while,
Yeah.
So I really hope that the authorities will really get busy and crack that, and don't let that get out of hand again. I don't know, because these fellas have to be selling these things somewhere. And I am hoping that these scrap iron places are not going back into that kind of thing, and don't let anything get out of hand, man.
Yeah. But for the folks who are interested, tomorrow, 24th of June, is the interfaith church service for Port of Spain City. It's at 9 a.m. at the cathedral, and then there's a parade downtown after. So just be mindful of that. Downtown is going to have a lot of traffic tomorrow. All around City Hall and those areas there, coming down Frederick Street, down to Independence Square and back up to Woodford Square will be closed off for traffic and parking and so on at some point in time tomorrow, okay? Because that parade starts at 10:30. They're going to block the road before. So just be mindful of that. seek alternative routes if you're in the city tomorrow. Stay away from central Port of Spain, downtown Port of Spain. All right? So those two things happen tomorrow, the church service and the parade.
So it's City Day? It's City Day?
City Day is the 26th, which is Friday. That's the day they will have the civic award ceremony. But the church service and the parade taking place tomorrow downtown. Right? So you all be mindful of that, please.
Traffic in the area. Traffic.
And of course, Husay in St. James starts tonight. The Husay Festival in St. James starts tonight with Flag Night, and it ends on Friday. So, you know, well, the traffic is not going to be a problem the night, but that Friday coming is going to be a big problem in St. James. They are going to block off Western Main Road despite my years of protestation. They are going to block off Western Main Road from 9 that morning all the way up to 7 in the night. Okay, just remember that. The entire main road, they block off. Even though the Husseidas pass, Charles, listen to me, The Husseidas come out and pass and go up the main road between 10 and 12 and off the main road. And that main road will still blocked off for the next 6 hours until they're coming back down. I'm tired to talk to the police about that. Why are you all doing this?
But that can make sense.
And then close it back again. But they only have strength to put on the barriers once. Put it on the morning and move it in the evening.
Yeah, so they don't care. So all those hours now that nobody is using the space, you just have the whole place.
And all the businesses suffer on the main road that day. Because nobody can pass through, so nobody can pull up to buy something on the Western Main Road. It's just be shut down every year. I nearly say something I want to say. Yes. Every year, these people doing this thing. And I said, why? Why you're blocking off the whole main road for all those hours? My God. Listen, common sense ain't common at all. No?
Well, maybe I had to talk to the higher authorities to let them.
So Charles, I talked to all who wanted to talk. So Charles, I was part of the city council when I was talking to them.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, if they wasn't listening to me then, you feel they go listen to me now.
Yeah, they want to hear, you know what.
The person who is the head of the TASA of the Husay Association is a councillor, sitting councillor. And he and all can't get them to change that. Because it's a police decision. Yeah. They block the main road in the morning and then unblock it in the evening, late in the evening. Whole day it shut down.
Right. So all authority police.
Oh Lord. Wow. It's tiring. I don't say nothing. And to even get to my gate, remember I have to come through the barrier. At time they make noise, no you can't pass. I said, but look my driveway right there, going in my own driveway, Sir Charles.
Yes.
They need to pass.
Yeah, and that is a sad thing, you know, because obviously if you block off the road, people who live in that area must have access to their homes and things and businesses. So how do you deny people their access? That can make sense.
If you meet a friendly officer, you will have access. If you meet some of them who don't even want to watch you and they look more beast than anything else, you don't stand a chance. You have to find somewhere to park and walk to a place. Right. I've done it. I've had to do it sometimes.
Yeah. Anyhow. Hi, people. We can take a couple of your calls. 281-1315-299-5156. In the space that we have, we can entertain your calls now, right? So give us a call. Share your thoughts with us on The Breakfast Show. Caller, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I want to commend you all for a very good interview there with Mr. Hernandez. It was not so much enlightening for me. It was a lot of what he said I'm aware of, but I think he was very expressive, to use that word, in terms of the issues. I want to respond to Ron DeSantis Jr., who said earlier that he thought Cristiano Ronaldo was the GOAT, since we're in football period here now. Now, everybody entitled to their opinion, but I want to let them know that if you want to look at who is the GOAT, if you go to YouTube, you will see discussions of that nature among many of the players, both contemporary and in the past. And you will also see used by coaches, both contemporary and in the past. And the consensus is that in terms of a GOAT, it would be between Pele, Messi, the original Ronaldo Nazario, the Brazilian phenomenon, with a person like Maradona running a fourth. And the reason for that is because all those players demonstrated their ability at the highest level at the World Cup. And you see what the World Cup is here now. So that's the stage on which you need to kind of establish yourself. You could score many goals in different leagues. Yes, Ronaldo scored goals in the Premier League after he moved from Portugal, and he scored goals in La Liga in Spain after he moved from Real Madrid, from Manchester United. He is also scoring goals in Saudi Arabia. But and he won the European Champions League with both teams, and he also won the European Nations Championship with Portugal. But he hasn't established himself on the real stage. Most of the discussions would tell you that the most talented player ever seen is Ronaldo Nazario, who was ravaged by a lot of injuries but still managed to have 2 World Cup medals. He participated in 4. The first one, he was a teenager on the Brazilian team and he didn't get an opportunity to play because the team was so strong. In the last one that he attended, he became very ill in the semi-final game, if you recall that. So that at the end of the day, check it out, and you will see. I am not a fan of Messi.
I'm going to read a list for you when you hang up. You listen, eh? I'm going to read something that somebody sent for me when you hang up, right?
Yeah. No, just let me end by saying this. I'm not a real fan of Messi, but I have to give him his flowers, because what he is doing with his, I would say, limited ability in relation to Ronaldo Nazario, he has achieved quite a lot, and he's still in the game. And if you look at Messi's history, Messi was a very undersized 14-year-old who was sent to Barcelona for medical treatment, which allowed him to put on some height and some weight. He always
I think he's on the spectrum too, Mr. Princess.
Beg your pardon?
He's reported to be on the spectrum also, eh?
Yeah, and to see what he has achieved despite his handicaps, I think I need to give him his flowers. And for somebody, in my view, to eclipse Ronaldo Nazario as one of the greatest players people have ever seen, he really deserves those flowers,
Yeah.
And like you, I'm not a fan of Argentina, but
I like Argentina, but I like Messi.
Objective.
Yeah.
Have a good day, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks
Now,
very
this is a list, somebody, well, I don't know who it is, via the Athletics, whatever group it is, of the top 100 footballers of all time. And now I'm not going to call all 100, right? Lionel Messi, number 1. Diego Maradona, number 2. Pele, number 3. Johan Cruyff, number 4. Cristiano Ronaldo, number 5. Alfredo Di Stefano, number 6. Franz Beckenbauer, number 7. Zinedine Zidane, number 8. Ferenc Puskas, number 9. And Michel Platini, number 10. That's a list of that somebody composed of a top 100 footballers. The Ronaldo that Mr. Princess Song now talk about there is number 12. Eusebio is number 11. Gerd Müller is 13. Garrincha is 14. George Best is 15. So you hear those names? But they have Lionel Messi as number 1. I won't argue with that, really.
Do they have Karl-Heinz Rummenigge on that?
Rummenigge, yeah, just now. Let me find him. Rummenigge, I saw his name. And this guy from Belgium, not Belgium, sorry. Where did he play for? Is Belgium? De Bruyne, he is number 66. Romario is number 32. Carlos Alberto, number 30. Kylian Mbappe, who is playing for France right now, he is number 29 on the list. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, I saw it, Sir Charles, but where? He is number 73.
Oh!
Karl-Heinz Rummenigge is number 73.
Oh, all right, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he might have
Kenny
been higher than
Dalglish is number 50.
And who they have at number 100?
Number 100, Luis Silla. I never heard of him. Never heard of him.
I don't know that name.
Close to the end is another British name that a lot of people knew, Kevin Keegan. He is number 98. He is number 98.
Wow, imagine that. You see the kind of names that you see on our list.
Yeah.
But
they have no... A teasy person when they send it for me, I say, where Dwight York?
Oh, my
I want to tell you what the person answer, huh?
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, my word. Kola, good morning.
No, we get bullets. We get bullets for that instead. Then we will get a 3 caliber.
Kola.
Hello? Oh, sorry. Hello?
Yes. Focus.
Oh, sorry, sir. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, jeez. Hey, hope I didn't say anything intimidating there. Good morning again, Brooklyn Center, Virginia. Hey, I was just wondering here, the good chief verified, his answer to my question. I appreciate that. Hey, do you know, with the original people's organization, right? Are they primarily those from the Carib tribe? The reason why I'm asking, as you know, back in the days in our school books, they tell us they had 2 tribes of the original peoples in Trinidad and Tobago, the Arawaks and the Caribs. But you hear about the Caribs and the Santa Rosa Festival, Arima and all that. But what about the Arawaks? Have they been extinct, terminated or something like that? You guys could throw any light on that?
No, I can't really help you with that, but we'll find out.
Yeah, because it's rather interesting.
What
so
maybe
when they said the original peoples, maybe they included individuals from that tribe. But we hear more and more only about Caribs, nothing about the Arawaks, But the Caribs were the more dominating tribe. They used to tell us in the school books, again, I don't know if it's revised history, but they used to say that the Arawaks were the peaceful ones and the Caribs were the more, war-based type. And they were the ones who really put up the fight towards the original folks. When I say original, the original folks from Europe, you know what I'm saying? The Spaniards.
Understood.
And everybody else. So that's basically what I wanted to ask. And the cove you're talking about there, that is done by heritage down there, right? Right, Sir Charles?
Yeah, heritage
all the way down to the end.
Yeah, all the way down.
Oh, right. Heritage there then. That's what we're talking about. Okay, cool. All right, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks very much. Yeah.
Scorpion, I don't see John Barnes on this list,
Another great one.
I don't see his name on this list at all.
Yeah, that's another big name you call there, Scorpion. What? Yeah. Caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Anson.
Mr. Stevens, did Rude Pullet make that list?
Let me get her name?
Rude Pullet from the Netherlands.
Yes, he is number 31.
Right.
Rude Gullet, he is number 31.
Oh, yeah.
They know our quality. Back in the day, in the Serie A days, in the mid to late 80s, I rated Pullet higher than Maradona. But that's just me, because I'm a Holland man, but that's just me.
A lot of Dutch players on the list, actually.
Yeah, I wanted to help out Mr. Virginia in terms of the question he asked, right? So the Arawak and Carib thing was given to was given by the colonizers. That's how they characterize them, but they call themselves different names. For example, most of the Amerindians who lived here, now remember Trinidad was the staging point, right? Because the history is everybody came through Trinidad and went up the chain, right? So we would like the landing point. Because if I check out the Banwari Man petroglyph, which I think is in South Trinidad, I think that estimated at over 4,000 years. I think that is the oldest Aboriginal piece in the discovered in the Caribbean, or in Trinidad, I should say, right? But yeah, so they give themselves different names. So you had the Sepoyu people, you had the Kalinago, you had the Warao, who we call the Warahoons, and you understand what I'm saying? So you had different people establishing themselves in different parts of the country. Indian Walk in Princestown is actually named that because there were actually tracks that these people should traverse, like highways, where they used to walk through and things. Understand? Now about the Garifuna. Garifuna is in my heritage because my father was a direct descendant from one of them. In fact, he came from St. Vincent, right? And he said that one of the memories he had of his mother, who was about almost full Carib, was that her hair was long, black, and straight. You understand? And I remember when I went there, I made it I wanted to actually see them. So I had some cousins who were living close to that part of St. Vincent, and one of my uncles was living close to them, and we actually went up there. That is on the, what do you call it? The windward side, right? Of St. Vincent. Actually went up there to where they had a factory where they used to make their own arrowroot, they used to process arrowroot and so on. And it was interesting to see them, how they look and things, with the Asiatic features, right? And I mean, they really connected. I mean, more so with the brethren who they exiled in Belize, right? So it's an interesting thing. But in terms of the American experience and thing, for me, right? All this thing about renaming the place and all kind of thing, I always say, go back to the original name of the place, and the place that they called there was Kairi, which is the land of the hummingbird. And in other iterations, people say Irie. That's what I'm saying. And if you really want to, these were the people who suffered the most, as Chief rightly said, under colonialism, because they lost everything. You understand? When you all were discussing the issue about Mr. Samaru, now remember Mr. Sims and Sir Charles, early from the piece, I told you all that it would get worse, Remember I said that earlier about using this SOE and the terms in it. And we are clearly seeing that when you have the police and the Minister of Homeland Security being the sole authorities to determine how they apply and interpret the SOE regulations, that is where you have people in dictatorship. So you know what happens? The government will remove themselves, and you saw the Prime Minister say, when in the extension debate, the government will remove itself and say, hey, we are being guided by the security services, And that is where the demonizing of the state security comes in. So I wasn't surprised by what would have happened to Mr. Samuel. But I'm saying that the host of the program, knowing what this gentleman was going through, his interview should have been vetted better, because I knew that something emotional would have been said by the gentleman based on the trauma and the grief he is going through. So I would say that the hosts have a certain degree of culpability, because they should have known, or they should have been more careful to do a pre-interview before bringing him live on the radio.
You should also have allowed him to correct it. You understand? To withdraw it. That's my opinion.
That too, but what I'm saying, they experience enough to know. Right? This man is experiencing great trauma. And what he said came from a place of trauma. But in the environment of statements prejudicial to public safety, I'm not surprised that what happened. That's what I feel opportunity to have a great day.
Yeah. Thanks, Sola.
Yeah, thanks very much, Anson. 28113152995156.
Let me answer some folks on the chat who are asking about footballers. Zico is number 27
What?
Socrates is number 61. Franz Beckenbauer is number 7. And I have a Gerd Muller, not a Hansi Muller. I have Gerd Muller at 13. I don't have a Hansi Muller. I don't know if it's the same person who asks about Muller, Gary Francois. And Gary also asks about Garth Crooks. Garth Crooks, I didn't see him.
Okay.
I see no.
Ragu Barson on the list.
Yes, it does actually.
He right behind Dwight York.
Yes. You're right next to Dwight York, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's high position. Okay. Yeah. Captain Ron, good morning.
Good morning again, gentlemen. Well, Richard, Wendell, I'm really thinking that some crazy reason that Dwight York might be there. But thank you for the information. And, I am really impressed with the interview guy that you all had, the interview guy there. The
chief.
I can't remember his name. The chief. Yeah, I am. It was so educational, and I give you all an A+ on your interviews lately. You all have been doing some very good interviews, and for the first time, I have an idea where the word Fiaco came from. I never knew all my life. I never knew. I've always fans of Fiaco Airport because obviously the wise airplanes and stuff. But
Captain Ron, let me ask you this question. I know I get the ideal person to ask this question. Although I think I asked it to you already, you flew airlines for years, right? Internationally.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you ever flew into Piaco, if you ever flew into Trinidad and Tobago. It pisses me off when those flight attendants would say we are landing at Port of Spain in Trinidad. I used to wonder, well, why are they saying Port of Spain? Especially for somebody who never came into Trinidad before. But I understand the designation was Port of Spain, but the airport name is Piaco.
Correct, but it has to do, inside the cabin, it has to do with the designation. That's how they've been advised to say.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? So, and most of these people like me, I am from Trinidad. I didn't know the full meaning of Piaco, where it came from, tell you the truth. I have to answer that. So, but most people would rather say Port of Spain because that's where passengers are going to make their connections or getting off the flight and going home. So it's an easier way to help assist passengers to know where we're going. Even though most of the passengers know where Piaco is. I remember many times flying through the airways and I heard other pilots, even when Tandem was alive still, asking what country is Piaco at? You understand? They didn't know. So then you remember long ago they had an airline called Venezuela, in Venezuela called Viasa, and also Aeropostal. Do you remember those guys?
I remember Aeropostal.
Yeah, well, Viasa was there too. Viasa is the one who, when they extended the runway before they got the TriStar, had the one they bought the DC-10 to do the test run on Piaco. So Venezuela have done a lot to Trinidad fast. But the thing is, many of the pilots from Aeropostal, when you listen to them on the radio, they don't even say Piaco. They just say Trinidad. When they call it the control tower, they say Trinidad, which is funny, But I thank you all for the for the education. But every time I did a flight into Trinidad, I had to give the other person the flight because I'm so excited I'm flying over Trinidad or into Trinidad. I can't concentrate. So I overaccept myself. I want to see everywhere. I want to see where I live, where I'm from. I want to see there. I want to see there. I want to see around where the effect, Malay comprehensive, all that kind of things used to go through my mind. So, it's just, but I thank you all again.
Thanks very much, Captain Ron.
Thanks, Captain Ron.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kola, good morning.
Yeah, morning, guys.
Morning to you.
Well, I know this is way so much, but Capo is the move I like to I know you're talking about.
Your song is kind of fire,
What did he say?
I'm not too sure.
Well, I love Messi supporter. I know Messi one of the.
Oh, you're a Messi supporter.
One of my favorite. I service I support everybody. Things all after the same thing what them fellas are doing. Also, like, same thing them fellas are doing. Yeah, I have a Lactaz. I do not work. I have a Lactaz fan. I see Lactaz as the whole Lactaz when I created the world. Yeah, I love Lactaz. So that I see that at football, Lactaz was really brilliant. Lactaz was like a Messi and he was thinking and everybody.
Yeah. Okay, right. Cool. No problem. Thanks very much, Colin.
You remember this footballer from Argentina, Mario Kempes? Well, he's number 63 on the list.
He was a short man.
No, short? Nah, I think he was short. Mario Kempes was tall, actually.
A short guy?
With flow in here, with a lot of flow in here.
Yeah.
And Mo Salah, who playing right now for Egypt, he is number 67 on the list.
Right. Well, they say that that Messi's achievement could be short-lived. Is being the top goal scorer because Mbappe is right on his heels.
Yeah,
with 15, while Messi's at 18. But I was also looking at the fact that Mbappe also, this is his third World Cup, where this is Messi's sixth World Cup.
Yeah, so Mbappe have a few more.
Yeah, because he's 12 years younger than Messi. So, and they predict that once France continues to pick him, he would play in about 3 more World Cups.
Yeah. Did you see that first goal he scored yesterday? My God. He really is something else.
Yeah, so
somebody asking for Passarella. I didn't see his name here, he was Argentina. I was the Argentina captain, not so? Daniel Passarella, I think that was his name.
Yeah, I think so.
But if Paolo Rossi, who was one of the greatest in Italy, could be number 86. Yeah, I don't know, some people ain't gonna be on this list.
Yeah. And there are a couple of Italian names I'm trying to remember actually.
Roberto Baggio, he is number 39. He was the next stop. And Paolo Maldini, he is number 17. Franco Baresi is number 19.
Yeah, but at the end of it all, a lot of good players are
Dino Zoff, who used to be the Italian keeper. He is number 34.
I like him. He used to run over the ball and stuff and end up quite up on the next goal.
Like he won the score.
Yes. I remember there was a time the team was playing and he wasn't too satisfied with how they were performing. He take the ball and he dribbled all the way up to the next goal and tried to score a thing. Yeah. And then had to speed back down the road. Yeah. But he is very athletic. I like him. He's a flip all over the place.
Carlisle, I've not seen Adile's name, I don't know. I think he was the Argentine captain, eh? I think he was. I've not seen his name either. I have to look carefully, because sometimes the names.
Anyhow, we got ready to wrap this session. Richard, how are you?
I am there. Of course, theater is on this weekend. Scandal in Cedrus, and we are looking forward to it.
Richard,
Queens, yeah.
You didn't even give. I know when. See, if I'm gonna talk to Alexa.
Nah, he not by Alexa.
Not by Alexa.
Alexa far from.
No.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, so Scandal in Cedrus is on this weekend, and I know tickets are selling at everywhere. And all outlets are selling tickets. K-Squared Fashions, Brentwood Mall, in Chabonas, Jabili Rawi in Tinapuna, K-Squared Fashions, West Mall and Eastgate, Sharfle Auto Services, Electronics, Arima, and Tony's Flores, Valpark Shopping Plaza, and of course online at rsrrproductions.com. Yep. You can get tickets on the website, and people have been availing themselves of buying tickets on the website at all manners of hours, anytime in the morning, in the day. Sales keep coming through on the website, so people are using the website. So thank you for that. We appreciate it. And of course, We are also at Naparima Bowl next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, just like we had Queen's Hall this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And of course, tickets for Naparima Bowl are already selling too on the website and at the outlets in South, which is K Squared Fashion, C3 Center, K Squared Fashion in Brentwood Mall and Chagonas, which is selling for both venues, and Friends of Marabella by the roundabout. And of course, the box office at Naparima Bowl will open on Monday coming. But the box office at Queen's Hall is open now, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. And you can get your tickets at the Queen's Hall box office. We are looking forward to fantastic shows this weekend and next weekend. We are so enjoying this play. And of course, these are probably going to be our final shows as we wind up with Scandal and Cedrus. And of course, this will be our last shows in Port of Spain, as far as I'm aware, at Queen's Hall this weekend. So you should not miss it. Trust me on that. And of course, you can continue to listen to netradiott.com and on the web for all of the excellent programming throughout the day. And you can also listen at Net Radio Trinidad on your smart devices. Just ask for Net Radio Trinidad on TuneIn, and you can listen to the excellent programming throughout the day. Have a fantastic day, whatever you do. It is Tuesday. Put a smile on your face. Remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health.
Mm-hmm. Kurt Hope Ronaldinho is there. He is number 22 on the list. Ronaldinho is number 22, and followed by Thierry Henry at number 23. All right, so that's it for today, folks. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God.
Yeah. This has been... I had to say it myself. The Breakfast Show!
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on.